So I guess I'll start out and just say this is Growing Up Aspen, Adventures of the Unsupervised with Chris Pomeroy. And today we've got Dean Jackson. So there's three of us. And we're with Brad Moore, the guy who put on so many plays around Aspen that it's a thrill to get him on this group chat. So I guess we'll dive in. And Dean, do you have any questions for Brad?
I just wish we had hours to reminisce. I think, Brad, the first time I remember working with you was under Milkwood in, I think, 82. And then after that, you directed me in like 300,000 plays. Am I remembering correct?
I was probably closer to 400,000, but you're right. I think under Milkwood actually, I think was. Yeah, it was either 82 or 83. You're right. Yeah. And I think that is the first time we worked together.
Yeah. Under the auspices of Al Lyons, the late great.
It was an Aspen Community Theater show, and yeah, Al directed that, and yeah, I have the poster hanging on my wall. Yeah.
I still have the playbill, but I destroyed the poster in my move from college dorm to college dorm.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I think I have one if you want it, Dean. I can probably find it and send it.
You know what? We're going to be, if you can send it to Andy's house, we're going to be visiting Andy at some point during the first quarter of next year. That would be wonderful.
I don't know if I trust that guy, Andy.
You co-authored a book with him. I don't know why.
That's because he owed me money, I figured that was the only way I could collect,
So, Brad, can you just bring us up to speed just on your journey into the theater world writ large of Aspen, with any anecdotes that you want to throw in there?
Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to hear all of this story, but, as you may or may not know or remember, I also am an Aspen High School graduate. Mm-hmm. So my journey into theater started in 1971. I was 13 years old, and my mother was a graphic artist, and in fact, she started the Aspen magazine, which now is a big luxury thing. But she and Ernie Ashley started the Aspen magazine, which was a funky, fun hometown magazine in those days. Anyway, there was a group of professors from Northwestern University who decided that they wanted to come to Aspen and start a summer theater program. And so they started this thing called the Aspen Theater Institute. And in 1971, my mom designed their brochure and logo and all that kind of stuff. And she came home and said, "Oh, guess what? I have free tuition for you and your sister." Remembering that I'm 13 years old, I said, "Absolutely not. I will not no, absolutely not." So I came back from the first day of Aspen Theater Institute and was completely hooked. So obviously I lost that argument. But, I've been hooked on theater ever since. It was just obviously life-changing. Met many lifelong friends. The woman who started the program, she and I have been working together recently. I mean, as recent as last year, working on a play that she's written, and she's obviously, older than she was at the time, and I'm older than I was at the time. But yeah. But anyway, so I got really involved with theater, and then going into high school, I got really involved with music, and Mr. McEachran. Bill McEachran became almost like a father figure to me, and so it was that connection with music, and the music program was basically what did the musicals, and then occasionally the English teacher, Jill Hopkins, would do straight play or something like that. But it was that really I got to tell you, that changed what I was. I mean, it gave me a purpose for being in school. I mean, I was sort of a mediocre student, and I had no interest in being in school. And then all of a sudden, I have this wonderful family of music and theater, and really changed my life. I ended up then studying theater at Northwestern University between my junior and senior year of high school, and and then after that, I went on to study theater in college, and then came back to Aspen High School. Let's see. I'd been running a children's theater school in Madison, Wisconsin out of college, and I came back to manage the Columbine Dinner Playhouse, which probably nobody remembers because it lasted for about a year. It was in the basement of the courthouse plaza, which I think was more recently like the housing office. But anyway,
Yeah.
And that was with, there were a bunch of people involved with that whole program. There were the O'Danes and John and Coral Dillon and Bill and Libby McEachran and Herman and Marty Adele and Fred Smith and just a bunch of local people. And it was sort of that same group of people that in 1975, 76, and in 75 we did a play at the high school. It was 74. I was a sophomore, just got my driver's license. And we were doing a spring play, and we brought in community members and high school students and did a play called Blue Denim, which was wild. Anyway, and from that, a lot of these same people decided to start a community theater. And so my senior year of high school, a group called the Colorado Mountain Theater Association, which is now Aspen Community Theater, so 48 years later. But anyway, this group, we took over what's now Belly Up, and we did a production there, and we had to stop rehearsals for a week so that a bunch of us could graduate, and then came back and opened this version of, it was called and yet another version of The Wizard of Oz, or Is the Wiz a Miz? And, it was because the first show that I did for the Aspen Theater Institute was 71 was The Wizard of Oz, and I played the Tin Man. And so we brought back some of the original cast, and I played the Tin Man again, and we did this crazy show at what's now Belly Up, and that was the beginnings of the Aspen Community Theater. So,
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks for listening. The authors of Growing Up Aspen would like to thank you, and would like to also thank the Aspen Times and the Aspen Daily News for giving us materials for our book, Growing Up Aspen, Adventures of the Unsupervised, which you can get at twistandturnpress.com and any local bookstore. Thanks.